boots are on fire. I'll make you jump like you touch a live wire. Ain't no sitting down when I get in the zone. Just give me my crown, let the king take his throne. Oh, I like to groove it. He likes to groove it. Oh, you're gonna move it. You're gonna move it. boots are on fire. I'll make you jump like you touch a live wire. Ain't no sitting down when I get in the zone. Just give me my crown, let the king take his throne. Oh, I like to groove it. He likes to groove it. Oh, you're gonna move it. You're gonna move it. One, two, three.
The Hey everyone, welcome back to our autumn launch event, and I hope everyone is enjoying the last bit of summer. My name is Angus, and I'm happy and honored to be presenting to you all today. It's been a wild and busy year. How busy? Till now, we've launched a total of 7 devices since the beginning of the year, ranging from entry level all the way to flagship, exploring all sorts of ranges and different characteristics of smartphones. Some all-rounders, performance-focused, entertainment-driven, or gaming-focused, making sure we meet all the needs of our users. Today, I want to dig deeper and bring 2 new devices to our fans. Now, we will be talking about the M series, which is focused on bringing entertainment features into entry to mid-range segment for our young users. Now, ever since our first global launch of the Poco M3, we aim to constantly bring the best possible specifications and experience to our users in the entry and mid-range segment. And based on our users and fans' feedback, we did pretty well. As of right now, we were able to ship more than 12 million units of M series. This is one of our best-selling series. So we looked back and want to learn more about the modern smartphone users, the young users. What do they love to do? And based on our survey and research, they do a wide range of activities on their smartphone. With most young users mainly spending their time on social media, gaming, streaming, traveling, we want to offer the best entry to mid-range smartphone to make sure they can enjoy all these activities to its fullest. Which is why we're introducing a concept of all-in fun with our M series. And when we break down these fun activities that happen on a daily basis, we learn that there are 2 sides of entertainment. One that is gaming-based, so besides the usual usage of a smartphone, they spend a lot of time gaming. And the other is focused on multimedia, such as streaming TV shows, and most time spent on social media. So today, we plan to bring you 2 devices that are experts in its own field. Introducing Poco M5 and Poco M5S, our performance player and the fun magician. With our brand new M5 series, we're going all in fun. So let's start with the Poco M5, the performance player. Now, I kind of want to break down gaming experience. Yes, the Poco M5 is definitely a capable entry-level gaming smartphone. And when it comes to gaming experience, we want to break it down to 3 essential elements: a strong performance, long-lasting battery, and the luxury of having a fast display. In each of these categories, the Poco M5 excels. So let's start with performance. Now, you may be wondering, entry-level, performance, usually doesn't pair that well. But that's because most people have started to get used to entry-level smartphones means slow performance. It lags, it's only just usable. It's a great backup device. Today, with the Poco M5, we're going to take that assumption away. And that's because we're going to be featuring one of the most powerful 4G chipsets in 2022. And I wonder if there's any guesses right now. But it's not only one of the most powerful, but it's also the latest chipset from MediaTek Helio series. Introducing the MediaTek Helio G99. Not many devices on the market uses this chipset, so allow me to run through some specifications. With flagship-level power efficiency of 6nm process made by TSMC, it is for sure that you have great performance with amazing efficiency. And to think that mid-range chipsets are now sitting around 6nm, and just 2 years ago, flagship chipsets were at 7nm, this is a wild improvement. And when we dig deeper into the Helio G99 CPU structure, it is an octa-core structure made by 2 A76 and 6 A55, with its main 2-bit cores powering up to 2.2 GHz, which is a good amount of speed for heavy tasks. And on the GPU side, which is important for gaming, it also features a relatively new ARM Mali G57 MC2. Sounds fancy, right? It offers a very smooth graphics performance and definitely can handle some top titles in the market. But besides a great chipset, we ensure we don't slack in RAM and ROM. Now, in the market, many entry-level smartphones tend to compromise right here with older RAM and ROM tech. With the Poco M5, at the entry-level segment, we offer a mid-range level RAM and ROM setup with LPDDR4X RAM and UFS 2.2 ROM. This is to ensure your multitasking and read and write speed is on par with the processor it's paired with. So when we come back to a benchmark score, which some people may be wondering, the MediaTek G99 paired with LPDDR4X and UFS 2.2 scored total AnTuTu of over 378,000, which is easily above the normal entry-level smartphone performance. And for those who want to see a comparison of it as well, now compared to one of the most used mid-range chipset in the last year or two in the market, and also a chipset we use in the POCO X3 NFC, the Snapdragon 732G. And we can see that with a score over 370,000, the Helio G99 has a decent edge over the Snapdragon 700 series. But that's not all we compared. We want all of the power, but we don't want to waste any power, with the G99 power efficiency being much higher compared to many of the mid-range chipsets on the market. In various apps such as gaming or social media, or even just leaving the phone to be, the Helio G99 outperforms the Snapdragon 732G in this as well. Now, performance and efficiency is obviously way out of entry level right here. But as the POCO M5 packs so much performance, can it offer some hardcore gaming elements? We want not only the hardware side of optimization for gaming, but also the software side. So for the first time, we're introducing Game Turbo 5.0. This is our latest gaming software optimization that allows you to have a true game experience even at the entry-level segment. So let's take a look. Now, when you activate Game Turbo 5.0, it will do three things mainly. It will clear your RAM memory, free up storage, and there's a mode called Performance Mode. All these three things helps make sure the phone is running smooth, and Performance Mode itself is like when you're driving a car and then you click the S button, the Sport Mode. You turn it on, and the phone is pushing everything it's got to run the game you're playing. To let our users know and how to activate and check out Game Turbo, we recorded our screen for a bit. So when you turn on the game, or when you're in-game, it's pretty simple. You just need to swipe the top left, and you have tons of options to do cool customizations, and even check out how much FPS you're running at. And you can see the FPS before you turn on performance mode, and after. The difference is there, and Game Turbo 5.0 is super easy for you to access. And when we come back to this, with three core performance elements in the POCO M5, game experience will be brought to new highs in the entry-level segment. So let's take a look at an FPS test result on the POCO M5. Now, after playing 30 minutes straight in the Free Fire, the Battle Royale game, it had a very stable FPS of 60, a cool temperature of just 40.2 Celsius. All this on an ultra graphics setting. Yeah, we challenged ultra settings on an entry-level smartphone. So we're all in on the game experience. And when you want to play all night, the POCO M5 will not disappoint you. Not only we're all in on performance, but also battery duration on the POCO M5. Battery has been M-series strength ever since the first POCO M3 we released. It's not different with the POCO M5. The POCO M5 features a standard big battery of 5,000 milliamp, which is always a size users love, because they know they will get a lot of duration with it. I have a colleague of mine who uses a competitive phone for some reason, and he always carries a power bank, always. With 5,000 milliamp and Helio G99 chipset power efficiency, battery is great on the POCO M5. In fact, if you're using it moderately on a normal working day, it can definitely have lots of battery left by the end of the day. I usually charge my phone every night, but in case you do forget one night, you shouldn't be too worried to see there's no battery left in the morning. And when it comes to gaming, on Free Fire, you can play for hours, all night. We tested it, more than 8 straight hours of gameplay on a single charge. That's a lot of time to game. And when this massive battery runs out of battery, which it will, of course, at some point, the POCO M5 supports 18-watt fast charging, which is better than most entry-level smartphones. And to give you guys an idea, we did a test to charge from 1% to 100%. To juice up a 5,000 milliamp battery, it only takes less than 2 hours to get to 100%. So if you were to get home by the end of the day from work, you can leave your phone to charge while cooking dinner, watching some TV. It will get to 100% very quickly. But we also considered not everyone charge up to 100% every single charge they do. Sometimes they only have time for 1 hour to charge. which is why we did a comparison test without device and another competitor device of 1 hour charge. We were able to get to 66% while they're sitting around 55%. But we don't just have fast charging in Poco M5. To complete the overall gaming experience, we also needed a clear and fast display. In the entry-level segment, we will not compromise on the speed and smoothness of the display. In our Poco M5, we're featuring a 90 Hz high refresh rate. Now, there's many reasons to make this decision, as we believe high refresh rate is slowly starting to become the norm of the smartphone industry for a good gaming experience. But another reason is, with high refresh rate, we're able to have dynamic switch technology, which optimizes battery life even more so. With the Poco M5, it can set it to 3 different refresh rates, such as 30, 60, or 90, based on what kind of content you're viewing. So let's take a look at a video. Now, but besides high refresh rate, to tailor the gaming experience even more so, we've installed 240 Hz touch sampling rate, which is insanely rare to have in this segment. Usually, entry-level phones have 120 or 180 Hz touch sampling rate. We bumped it up to the mid-range level, so when users play games, it will react even faster. Let me show you what I mean. Now, on the left, we have 120 Hz, and on the right is 240 Hz. When they click the button at the same time, you can see that the 240 Hz screen reacted faster and was able to get up the speed up first. So the result is simple on display. The Poco M5 features a very, very fast display. 90 Hz refresh rate with 240 Hz touch sampling rate that is going to be great for daily usage and gaming usage. So when we come back to this is what we mean by all-in gaming experience. With these features, Poco M5 will stand out from the rest. And when we talk about the whole gaming experience, so we have a strong processor with great RAM and ROM setup, battery life where you never have to concern about battery drainage, a fast display that really stands out during gaming, with new features such as Game Turbo 5.0. So Poco M5 is really here to raise the standard of entry-level gaming. But now let's talk about daily experience, things you definitely use every day. And there's absolutely no compromises on these either. What the Poco M5 brings in daily experience is a stylish design, a clear camera, and many convenient features that brings more joy to your overall experience. So let's start with design. Now, design on M series has been an important part of our brand, and it's a strength, not just within the brand, but also in the industry. M series was known for its design. Ever since the Poco M3, we've had unique design in our previous models, looks that stands out from its class. I remember Poco M3 really took the design at the entry-level segment to a whole new level. So let's see how the Poco M5 looks. First, we have the Poco M5 in black, a classic color that never goes wrong. It's stylish, but it's also stealthy, the best of both worlds. But of course, we have the iconic M series color, yellow, on the Poco M5. If there was a color combination for our brand Poco, it's this one. The mixture of black and yellow is absolutely gorgeous. It offers an adventurous look and feel, and I highly recommend anyone who likes a little bit of glam to choose this color option. And lastly, we're introducing a green color, as we did with other models this year as well. Now, green color smartphone has slowly become more and more popular among the market, and we want to make sure we offer it as well. Now, this green is a mixture of a dark blue feel as well, so it looks really good. So here are the 3 color options for the Poco M5. Honestly, I think for the first time, I don't know which one is my favorite. They're equally good looking, and I think it might have to be based on my mood. But let us know which one you like most in the comments below. Now, you may notice all 3 color options do come with a leather-like texture, which was first introduced by the Poco M3. And this was wildly popular with our users and with the market. It felt good, it felt premium, and most importantly, it's less likely to have fingerprints, which is really nice. But not only the Poco M5 looks good, we got that covered, right? We also wanted to feel good to the next level when using the phone for a long period of time, which is why this time we put in a unibody design from the mid-frame and the back panel. Now, not everyone prefers flat frame design, but it's definitely a preference to a lot of users out there. And when we take a look at the top, you'll see the headphone jack you've all been waiting for. Yes, we do feature a headphone jack in case you prefer cabled earphones for no audio lag, or use this as backup when your wireless earphones runs out of battery. And on the internal side of the phone, we have the latest Bluetooth technology, Bluetooth 5.3, to ensure less lag for your audio, and NFC for you to make wireless payments from your device, and lastly, IR Blaster, so your phone can be remote to all your home electronics. All of these handy features is a huge part of design for us. We want the Poco M5 design experience to be premium, nice, and useful. If it just looks good, that's not really enough. So lastly, we have Poco M5's camera. As a performance-focused phone, we still put in a huge amount of effort in camera. We want it to be a daily shooter for our fans, something very easy to use. So in the Poco M5, we feature a triple camera system, and its highlight is the 50-megapixel main camera that takes amazing quality shots. Let's take a look at a sample. With a high megapixel camera and clear quality, with landscape shots, you can capture amazing details. Now in this photo, we took an architecture that is full of reflections. If you look closely, all the details are there. So this is a daily shooter that's easy to use and offers amazing details. And we also support creative shots that will do great for your social media posts, such as macro mode, portrait mode, and night mode. There's so many others to explore. A mixture of video and photo modes awaits on the Poco M5 for you to explore. I remember using Movie Frame on our smartphone for the first time, and it was honestly very cool, very premium, and very artsy effect. So this is our Poco M5, the performance player. With so many mid-range level features, it's quite hard to believe this is an entry-level smartphone. But like I said earlier on, all in fun has two sides of it. We've just introduced the Poco M5, which is good for gaming and the usual activities like social media and reading. But up next, we have another device that is focused on streaming and photography, and even more so. So let's get right into it. Introducing the Poco M5S, the Fun Magician. And just like how we started earlier, we want to explain why Poco M5S is more tailored to entertainment. When we looked at the young generation these days, their biggest hobbies besides gaming could be social media, traveling, and photography. You've opened up Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Those are all non-stop content. But all of these activities require one core element: a camera. Yes, Poco M5S Magic Camera. So let's start with this first. So we started to dig in M-series camera even more so because we realized our Poco fans, especially our community fans, they love to capture their most precious memories. And we're super happy to see what they've shared. So we want to show you as well. All of these stunning photos were captured by our Poco fans on Poco smartphones. Honestly, when I first saw some of these photos that our fans took, I was mind blown. They're so creative and so cool, which motivate the team here to do even more so in the camera department. Which is why for our Magic Camera, we will be offering a quad camera in the Poco M5S. This is to let all of our M-series users to have even more exploration into our camera system. And we took some photos ourselves. Let's take a look. When we went on vacation into the desert, we took this really cool shot. And this specific shot is using the 64-megapixel Ultra HD mode. It's nothing crazy, just a dude enjoying his dirt bike ride. But look at the color on this photo. The sand is such a nice touch. And our other modes as well took stunning photos. A portrait shot on the Poco M5S with natural bokeh effect, which really puts the focus on the model. The quality is stunning and is always making a good profile picture on this mode as well. And up next is our ultra wide shot, allowing you to capture much more and making the whole scene just much more immersive. And this is the mode I use most on a daily basis when I take out my camera. And when you want to capture some photos at nighttime, we also got you covered with night mode on the Poco M5S. As you can see here, even under pretty low light conditions, clarity and color is on point. And lastly, macro mode, which is honestly just a lens if you want to have some fun. If you have the time to really explore this, you can do awesome creative photography with it. But what makes POCO M5S real special in this segment is the ability to shoot 4K videos. Not many devices can do this in the mid-range segment, and we're happy to bring this feature to our fans. So this is our POCO M5S Magic Camera, packed with so many creative modes to master your photography skills. And we hope our fans can enjoy all of them. With 64 megapixel leading the way, I'm sure I'll be seeing more stunning photos from our fans. Now, we talked about camera, which is about creating the content. What about viewing the content? You need a good and super clear display as well. Which is why we're introducing Magic Display on the POCO M5S. Now, what does Magic Display mean? In our opinion, a good content-focused display must have sharp details, great color, and high brightness. So featuring our POCO M5S is a flagship-level AMOLED display. And I say flagship level because it's almost just as good as AMOLED we use in our POCO F4. And to give you some details, this AMOLED panel features 409 ppi, which is on the higher end of the scale in terms of density. And this will give you a great reading experience, especially if you're browsing a page with lots of text. For example, if you're reading the news on your phone. And this display is also very colorful. With a 4.5 million to 1 ratio and a DCI-P3 color gamut, the POCO M5S display offers true-to-life colors with the content you watch. And being a clear and colorful screen, what makes the POCO M5S screen even more impressive is its brightness level. It can reach up to 1,100 peak brightness, which can easily help you view your phone clearly even under the bright daylight. And during at night, we also make sure to take care of your eyesight with automatic brightness adjustment, supported by the 360-degree ambient light sensor and reading mode 3.0, making things more comfortable to view at night because we all swipe our phones for a while before we sleep. I know you guys do. And the finishing touch to take care of your eyes even further, on this panel, we do support DC dimming, which helps reduce the flickering of the phone. Something subtle, but definitely beneficial. For such a great screen, and as an entertainment-focused smartphone, the POCO M5S also comes with a dual-speaker setup. So whether you're listening to music, the radio, calling a friend on hands-free mode, the sound is super loud and is super clear. And for those who streams a ton of content on their smartphone, the AMOLED display and dual speakers makes a great combination. It feels like having a pocket cinema, and that's just super convenient. This is our Magic Display on the POCO M5S, covering all the essential areas of what makes a good entertainment-focused display. Great colors, great details, and brightness. Let's take a look at a video. Now, we've spoken about Magic Display. Let's take a look at the back. Magic Design. Now, when we first looked at the massive pool of mid-range smartphones in the market, we realized mid-range smartphones usually weighs on the heavier side, the design is a little bit dull, the hand feel isn't great, and we want to change that and stand out. So with our Magic Design, we aim to be the lighter smartphone with an elegant design and great hand feel. So first, let's check out the option for our POCO M5S. Now, first introducing the classic gradient gray that offers a classic feel. You can never go wrong with this color choice. But also for the very first time on M series, we added a white variant on the POCO M5S, now which really brings out the elegance feel. Now, when a white color is done right, it's super nice, and our white looks stunning. And lastly, we have a blue variant even for a younger look. Now, it's got an Aurora gradient touch to it, which in different angles, you can see a little bit of green and purple. So looking good, we're confident in. Poco M5s also boasts how good it feels in hand. Now, by being the lightest Poco smartphone yet, sitting at only 178.8 grams, this offers great one-hand use experience. So you wouldn't feel the phone is too bulky or heavy. It's so light, sometimes you could forget you're holding a phone. But on the back, we also have a curved frame with 3D back cover. So which for those who prefer a sleek feel, this is the perfect choice. And because of this back design, holding the phone with one hand does become easier. So this is our magic design on Poco M5s. With stunning new color options and being the lightest Poco phone yet, we aim to bring a premium look and feel into this segment. So which colors do you guys like most? Remember to leave a comment below as well. And lastly, we do have Magic Experience, which includes all the things that powers what we mentioned earlier. But first, I want to say, as most mid-range camera-focused smartphone in the industry doesn't pair the phone with a good chipset, it doesn't really matter how good the camera is if the chipset can't go hand in hand with it. It can cause lag when you take the photo, or stutter when you swipe a ton of content. So it's important for us to choose the right processor. Featuring in the entertainment-focused Poco M5s is the MediaTek Helio G95, a very well-known and mature chipset in the mid-range market, and is still one of the best out there. With an AnTuTu score over 356,000, it still puts up a lot of power. And just like the M5, we've also featured LPDDR4X and UFS 2.2 in the Poco M5s, with up to 6 GB of RAM and up to 128 GB of storage, making sure there's enough space for all those creative content you will be making. And to further improve multitasking, Poco M5s does support dynamic RAM expansion that can get up to 8 GB. So you can keep a couple more apps running in the background and still run very smoothly. This is a very handy feature and something you can always leave on and never worry about it again. And powering all that, we have a 2-day battery life of 5,000 mAh. This is a standard option for battery, and its duration is great as well. You can get almost 6 hours of 4K recording and 19 hours of playback time. But of course, we also took daily typing, texting your friends, texting on social media, and touch into consideration. In our Poco M5s, it features a Z-axis linear motor that offers lively haptic feedback. A good feedback is super rare in this segment. I think people underestimate how important this feature is. It makes the whole phone feel so much better. And lastly, we have IP53 splash and dust resistance to make sure the Poco M5s is protected. This will be especially handy if you're taking photos or videoing in the rainy weather. This is our Poco M5s, the fun magician, with all of these features that helps our users to create, absorb content, and then have fun. The Poco M5s offers entertainment like never before in the M series. As we live in a digital age, the Poco M5s is geared for those who want to be a part of creating that space to be even more fun. And up next, let's talk about how much you can get it for. Price. But first, we do have to talk about M5's pricing, and then we'll get to M5s. Remember, this is our Poco M5, the performance player. This is our best entry-level performance smartphone yet, with so many mid-range and above features. So let's check out comparison. When we look at the other competitors in this segment, we can see in the chipset department, we're well ahead. This is where we take the lead. And in other categories, we do feature high refresh rate with a big battery and decent fast charging. Now, their costs start from 199 and above, but let's see our base variant. 189 euros for our base variant. Now, under 200 euros, you'll be getting an unbelievable gaming experience at the entry level. Of course, we're going to bring you an early bird. 169 euros, all the way down to 169 euros, making this one of the most affordable smartphones we've released this year. But we have 2 other variants as well, so let's check it out. For our second variant, 209 euros. And the highest variant, 229 euros. And these is only our retail price. We have cut 20 euros on each of these retail price, so it's actually 189 euros and 209 euros, bring the ultimate bang for the buck for our fans. And when we come back to this comparison, being well ahead in the performance segment, we're still more affordable by quite the margin. At POCO, we constantly aim for the most aggressive price. But we're still not done yet. We have the POCO M5S, the Fun Magician. As its twin, in the making for all-in fun. Instead of gaming focus, it focuses more on entertainment. It features a couple of flagship level features, such as AMOLED display and 64 megapixel quad camera. So let's see the comparison first. Now, compared to other mid-range products in the market, we're not only stronger in chipset, but also using a better AMOLED panel, which is great for content viewing, and we have the bigger battery and a strong quad camera. So let's see the price for our base variant. 209 euros. Just a little over 200 euros, and you're getting all the entertainment. And with the early bird, 189 euros for the POCO M5S, which is barely just a little bit above the POCO M5. And for the other two variants, 229 euros and 249 euros. Now, these prices will be our retail price. So packing so many features, and especially made for a digital age, let's put an early bird on that. 209 euros and 229 euros. Same as earlier, 20 euros off the retail price. So you don't actually need to consider those 500 and above smartphones that usually only have camera-focused specs, but with a mid-range chipset. We offer it right here with the POCO M5S. And when we come back to this comparison, with the highest variant of 6 plus 128, we're the most affordable and packing the most amount of features among the three, bringing unimaginable value into our M5 series today. And for both devices, they'll be available on these platforms first, September 6th. So keep an eye out on which one you want to get for these amazing prices. But don't worry, we have a lot more channels coming your way. Make sure to follow our local region POCO accounts to make sure you don't miss out on this deal. You don't want to miss out on this deal. So this is all we have today. Our POCO M5 series, the Performance Player and the Fun Magician, a gaming-focused entry-level smartphone and an entertainment-focused smartphone. Which one will you choose? Or maybe get both. Definitely get both. Thank you all very much for watching. Enjoy the beautiful weather. It's been an absolute pleasure today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.